All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little San Francisco 49er video as we go through the 5 best starts in the short but incredibly successful career of Niner quarterback Brock Purdy. But first, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Go get the brisket. Go get the brisket chili. Go say hi to Damon and Mary and tell them that Larry Krueger sent you. And this video is also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Check the link in the description. Use the promo code Krug, and they will match you up to your first $100. All right, let's talk a little bit about Brock Purdy and what a career he's had with the 49ers. A Mr. Irrelevant, stepped in week 13 in the 2022 season when Jimmy Garoppolo went down, and he has been nothing short of brilliant really ever since. The Niners lost to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Purdy played pretty well in that game. And outside of maybe a game here or there, he's played outstanding football. So what are the 5 best starts of Brock's brief NFL career in order? All right, let's go. Let's mark them down. It's obviously very subjective. There's some ones that didn't make the list that are really, really good starts. Like, for example, he played hurt, didn't practice all week in 2022 when he played in Seattle. Had sore ribs, maybe even a busted rib. Didn't practice all week and still went up to Seattle and led the Niners to a very nice win there in 2022. That, even though was tremendous, is not on the list. And he also lit up Seattle in his first playoff start, throwing for well over 300 yards and beating the Seahawks at Levi's in his first playoff start in 2022. Even though that was spectacular, that wasn't on the list. So what is? What are the 5 Purdy starts that are on the list, or his greatest starts ever in the NFL? All right, number 5. I'm going to go with his first official start ever because it was memorable. Tampa Bay Bucks, Tom Brady making an appearance in the Bay Area. Brady's coming home. Purdy's family had already bought tickets to this game, not even knowing that their boy was going to be starting at quarterback. They bought tickets in advance because they wanted to see Brady. How about that? And so now their kid is starting against Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback in the history of football. As much as I love Joe Montana, the Brady numbers far surpass Montana. So we have to give Brady his nod. And in Brock Purdy's first NFL start at home with his family having bought tickets to see the other quarterback in advance, he outdueled Brady in his, with his family in the house in his first career start in front of the faithful. 35-7. The Niners destroyed Tampa behind Purdy. Purdy was a very efficient 16 of 21, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns. He took a monster hit at the beginning of this game from Keanu Neal and just wasn't phased, wasn't intimidated at all. And he just totally outdueled the great Tom Brady in Brady's backyard, winning 35-7. How could you not have that game on the 5 best starts of Brock Purdy's career? So there's number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go week 4 of the 2023 season. Niners beat the Cardinals and Josh Dobbs 35-16 at Levi's, early season game. Purdy completed 20 of 21. That's right. 95% of his passes for 283 yards in a touchdown on a sunny afternoon and early in the year, and the Niners win convincingly over Dobbs and the Cardinals. But 20 of 21. I think as I was walking into the presser, that's kind of the moment I think a lot of media people were like, you know what? This Purdy criticism is ridiculous. This guy just completed 95% of his passes. I mean, you just don't see that. So that's number 4 on the list. Purdy completing 95% and the Niners beating the Cardinals in week 4 of 2022. All right, here we go. Number 3 on the list. I'm going to go week 5 of 2023. The Niners beat the Cowboys 42-10 on national TV. Purdy outdueled Dak Prescott. He completed 70% of his passes, 17 of 24 for Purdy, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, national TV, coming out party. A lot of people doubting whether he could get it done, and he did. Against the pressure that the Cowboys had up front. I mean, Micah Parsons and company to hang 42 on the Cowboys. 4 touchdowns, no picks, 70% completion percentage. Niners win in a rout, absolute rout. Brock Purdy's third best start. Number 2. What is number 2 on the list? I'm actually going to go with a game that is not even a start. I'm going to say with his first NFL appearance, Week 13, 2022 against Miami, Jimmy Garoppolo carted off in the first quarter with a foot injury. It was a serious injury that would basically end Jimmy's run with the Niners. This was December 4th. Now, Brock Purdy was really good in training camp, looked really good in the preseason, had not played. Really, I got a brief deal against Carolina, brief deal against Kansas City, but basically he had not played. It's December 4th. It's Week 13. That means he sat all of September, all of October, all of November. It was now the first week in December. He hadn't played for 3.5 months of football. He comes off the bench. The Niners are trailing in the game. Purdy goes 25 of 37 for 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and leads the Niners to a 33-17 win over Mike McDaniel's Dolphins at Levi's in his first appearance ever in a 49er uniform. And I'll never forget as he came into the game, because I was big on Purdy. I said in the press box, I'm like, the 49ers just got a whole lot better at quarterback. And people looked at me like, are you crazy? And sure enough, Purdy came on and the Niners won 33-17. And he really didn't look back. He's been better than Jimmy Garoppolo really since that moment. And number 1, what is the best Purdy start of his brief Niner career? I got to give it to him in the NFC title game against the Lions. January of 2024, Niners come back and win 31-20 over Detroit and go to the Super Bowl. I mean, think about this game. Detroit ran for almost 150 yards in the first half alone. They were up 24-7. Niners are down 17 at the break. And they're going to lose at home to the lowly Detroit Lions with a Super Bowl berth on the line. Instead, Brock Purdy, 20 of 31, 267 yards, threw a touchdown, 1 pick, 48 yards rushing, which were absolutely huge. Niners scored 17 points in an 8-minute span of the third quarter, jumped back in the game. Thank you, Dan Campbell, for a couple of stupid coaching decisions. But nevertheless, Brock Purdy down with the Super Bowl berth on the line, and the couple of those plays that he just took control, especially at the end. And then the 48 yards rushing were absolutely crucial. And the Niners go to the Super Bowl for the first time with Brock Purdy. Those, to me, are the top 5 starts of Brock Purdy's career. There are a few others in there that easily could have made this list, but those are mine. I'd love to hear your comments. Write them in below. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.